Democrats are depending on unions big time to help fund the last big push before the midterm elections. But will big bucks and votes from the unions come with more than few strings attached? Follow the money to Chicago, where Governor Quinn allegedly made a deal with Transporters Association to pay all of their unpaid bills. Get this, within 10 days. How did that happen? Joining us with more from the Windy City is Fox News contributor Tamara Holder, along with our all-star panel. Tamara, 10 days sounds, at the time, it was 10 days away before the election, so they said, hey, if we pay off all these bills in time, will you still vote for me?
Well, look, this is a serious allegation, Eric. We're talking about possibly a federal bribery statute violation here, a criminal charge. I mean, the governor is being accused by whomever of, paying these bills or these debts owed to these vendors in exchange for votes. Now, I spoke to his chief of staff, and I also spoke to this association, and they said that this is absolutely not true. There's no substantiation whatsoever, and a lot of them think that this is coming from, somebody else's campaign.
Right. Last week it was ice cream for votes. This week it's chili and chicken for votes, and now pay up your bills and we'll vote for you. They're tough to prove, though, Tamara.
There's no
well,
evidence,
yeah, they are,
right.
but there's no evidence, but at the same time, here in Illinois, we have a major budget deficit. And there are $2.5 billion that are owed to all of these vendors, thousands upon thousands of vendors. So everybody's contacting the governor's office and saying, look, I want to be paid because I'm not going to be able to pay my staff, or I'm going to have to shut down. I mean, people are losing their trucks. They're losing their businesses because the state owes them money.
Hang in there, Tamara. Let me go to you, Bob. Okay, so there's no evidence that there was a conversation saying, we'll pay you, just make sure you vote for me. But still, it's just
first of all,
example after example. By the way, this guy is a Democrat.
Yeah, of course he's a Democrat, and probably the Republicans set him up on it. But can we just get something straight here? Let me try to say one thing straight, if I could. This year, there's going to be $3.6 billion spent on a midterm election, more than were spent in 2008 in the presidential year. Unprecedented amount of money flowing into these campaigns, most of it coming from corporations because the Supreme Court allowed them to bring them in, and a lot of it coming from foreign corporations. This is a bought and paid for election, mostly by corporate America,
so
not
Joe,
by trade unions.
If I can paraphrase Bob, he said, well, since the corporations are spending a lot of money on the Republicans, the Democrats, hey, got to do what they got to do to get a vote.
If he put all this into book form, it'd be a best-selling novel. Oh, right. Fiction, yes. It's the unions. It's the unions.
Oh, really? You think the unions gave to Crossroads?
The best part is there's no disclosure because the unions are doing it on Election Day. They call it turnout activity. Now, Pat Quinn, I will say this, but I'm from Illinois. Pat Quinn is probably the last of the non-corrupt Democrats at the top level.
From what I can tell.
Hold on
there. Isn't this the same Governor Pat Quinn who paid his staff a 7% increase in the middle of the financial crisis with his state in the hole to the tune of $4 billion?
I didn't say he was not a liberal. I didn't say he was smart. I just said he's not corrupt.
You know what we're seeing right now, Bob, is the Republicans thought they named all these seats that that they were going to win. Now all of a sudden they saw the polls kind of reversing. Now they're doing whatever they got to do to get these votes back. It was like a premature ejaculation.
That was exactly right.
Okay, Eric, three points real quick. Number one, in Tamara's speech, she said allegedly and supposedly.
Okay,
wait a minute. And then when we were asked who made these charges, she said whoever. Whoever? Who made them? Somebody made these charges against them. They're serious enough charges.
Okay.
Who made
it was Republicans.
Go ahead, Tamara.
Who?
Okay, it's really hard to be all the way over here, and I can't defend myself.
Go ahead.
It's hard enough at the end of your panel. But anyway, okay, first of all, we don't know who these vendors are. It is a group of African-American small business owners. We are not talking about union members. We're talking about mom and pop shops who are owed money by the state for their contracts. So, we don't know. And when I talked to the guy at the with the association, he said, these are members. We're all gathering together because all of these people are owed money by the state, and we want to get paid.
Hang in there.
That's what this is about.
Hang in there, Tamara. Okay, Bob, so if it's true?
What do you mean? If it's true, there's not one shred of evidence that with all due respect, she said that would indicate that's true. If it were the Republicans, I would bet you this is a Republican story being leaked out. But any party that'll steal the presidency of the United States will try to steal the governorship.
Not a shred yet.
No, there is a shred if there was a deal made to pay off the bills ahead of other creditors. That's what we asked Tamara. Is that the question? Tamara, Tamara, do we know if there actually was a deal made to pay these people off?
No, there was no deal. There was no deal whatsoever. The governor's office said there was no deal. The people, the association said there's no deal. There was one news source, ABC,
Tamara,
here in Chicago. They're the ones that reported it.
Tamara, let me ask you something. I'm in Chicago, and you and I go back and forth a lot on this. Let me ask you a quick question. We're out of time. Just you're there. What are Chicagoans saying about the decision to continue the Blagojevich trial after the Chicago election, when Mr. Rahm Emanuel will be running for mayor of Chicago? By the way, that seems a little fishy, but I'm not surprised it's Chicago.
Well, I hope you bring me back to discuss that, but that's very fishy. The election is in February. The trial was supposed to start in January, and now they've pushed it back to April. So it makes you wonder what's going on. And to answer your question, Chicagoans are kind of over the whole thing, and they want to move forward.
All right, Tamara Holder, we're going to say thank you.